then run it again. Steel, get up to $50 off select AK battery tool sets. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Michael is going to produce our broadcast today, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Great people. They do great work. They can light up anything. Your pool, your deck area, your home, your acreage, whatever it might be. Check them out today, and it's fully programmable right from your phone. Visit them at GatorTrimLight.com, and you'll see what I am talking about. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency. Simply the best in late model, low mileage vehicles, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Go see them today. When you do, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Today, if all goes the way we think it should, we're going to talk to Joe Healy from D1 Baseball, who covers the SEC as we embark on the final SEC baseball weekend of the year. Then Sean Devaney from Heavy.com will talk NBA playoffs, the draft, lottery, etc. And then Gators softball will play Florida A&M in the regional. The Rattlers head coach is going to join us in the 1 o'clock hour live. So that is our plan for today. Graham Hall will host here tomorrow from 24/7 Sports. Always appreciate when he fills in because we are heading to Baton Rouge for the broadcast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's interesting. There are still some midweek games this week. Belmont's playing Tennessee. Winthrop is playing South Carolina. Auburn, Jacksonville State, UT Martin, Ole Miss, and then Kentucky canceled its game with Northern Kentucky. And then Thursday, everybody plays. And we find out in the final week of the year exactly what is going to happen. Will the Gators finish in the top 8? If they do, they'll get a first-round bye at the SEC tournament. If they finish in the top 8, there's a pretty good chance that they would be able to host a regional. It's getting down to that time. If you want to text us, 352-325-3777. Text brought to you by B&D Electric. Reliable, professional electrical service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com. Many thanks to all of our sponsors. Quality Plumbing, sponsoring the first hour of the show. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since way back in 1984. Their name indeed does say it all. All of our phone calls, our phone line on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. Call them for the best MRI and affordable prices. Find out more, TitanMRI.com. 3 locations in Gainesville, one in Lake City to serve you better. The email, you know what that is, srussell@wruf.com, courtesy of International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. They carry a vast and quality assortment of engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, fine jewelry. You'll like it. International Diamond Center. And all of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. Program reminder, tonight, the Rays visit the Blue Jays. The Rays continue to play great baseball. We'll have the game for you here beginning at 6:30. And then Thursday, Gator baseball with LSU. Thursday and Friday night, it'll begin at 7:25. And then Saturday, coverage begins at 2:55. And, of course, Gator softball this weekend coming your way as well with the regionals, Florida and Florida A&M. Our coverage begins at 10:30 in the morning on Friday. First pitch is at 11, which means Sports Scene will be bumped that day to a later time. We'll come to you live from Baton Rouge. All right. Today, I had an email after the show. Oh, by the way, before I forget, I did want to recognize Greg's email. He said, with the NBA Combine's underway, anything about Chinyalu's progress, do you think he'll join Kondo and Halkin and return? I do, but I don't know that. And I don't know that even he knows that at this point. But the good news is we will soon find out. And if that is the case, you can talk about the proverbial icing on the cake. That's exactly what that is. All right, anyway, I got an email yesterday from Philip, who's a regular listener of the show, and he asked me a very interesting question. He said, I know you're a baseball guy, I know you're a softball guy, but why aren't you talking football? And so I emailed him back, and I said, I have an open phone line, I have email, okay. But what exactly do you want me to talk about when it comes to football? It is not football season. He said recruiting, and I said, well, I've already talked about how well they've been recruiting. We don't know how anybody's going to do till they get here, obviously. So, again, I said, so he finally said, well, how about the playoff? So I guess to satisfy Philip today, okay, I'll throw that out there. I will say this. There still seems to be a pretty big bridge between the Big Ten and the SEC when it comes to the number of teams in the playoff. Sankey still wants 16. The Big Ten wants more. And there doesn't seem to be, at least at this point, a whole lot of compromise. So, let me ask, as a fan, what would you prefer? And then my buddy Kevin Brockway at the Gainesville Sun wrote a column. I'll try to get him on Thursday to talk about it. That the SEC championship game is worth saving. Hope you're listening, Brock. Is it? Is it? Think about, obviously, football is a different animal because there's no tournament. Softball has a tournament. Baseball has a tournament. Basketball has a tournament, right? Swimming has SEC championships. So the only sport that I can think of that comes down to two teams is football. And it is lucrative. It makes money. There's no question about that. But if you were to see it go, how sad would you be? And I got to tell you, I have mixed emotions about this. When you go to the SEC championship, if you've never been, it is an electric place. I mean, it's fun to go. And it's fun to be playing for an SEC championship. But does that still mean as much as it used to. Here's my point. I get it. If you win an SEC championship in football, you're going to be in the playoff. That's a given, okay? But if a coach wins 2 SEC championships in 3 years and gets bounced in the first round of the playoff, what do you think the fan reaction would be? I'm really glad we got those SEC. No, it wouldn't. It would be, why can't we win a game in the playoff? And the SEC championship would be an afterthought. Anyway, I'm trying. I knew today was going to be a struggle just because there isn't. Did you see what Lane Kiffin said about his job at Ole Miss? That's interesting. If you haven't, look at it. LeBron, the Lakers are done. He's 41 years old. And I'm going to tell you this. The more I watch this dude, the more respect I have for him. He's 41 years old, and he is better than the vast majority of NBA players at 41 years of age. He's remarkable. And I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done in his career. By the way, you see Michigan and UConn have set a title rematch in basketball. Yeah. So, and I love that. And I hope Todd Golden will, now maybe not as aggressively as he scheduled, but those games are so cool. They're really good. Matter of fact, I think, didn't Florida, when Michigan State won, didn't they play again the next year with Billy? I think they did. Anyway, I think that's great. So, with all this, let's open the phone lines until we get our first guest. 392-8255, that's the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. And again, Joe Healy, D1 Baseball, is going to join us here pretty soon, right after Chris's call. Chris, hello.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for taking my call. So I heard you talking about LeBron, and it reminded me. I'm a LeBron fan. I have been through the years, and I have a really cool LeBron story. If you want to hear it.
Okay, go.
All right. So I went to college at the University of Akron. I was there from, I believe it was 98 to 2002. And I was there one day we used to play basketball. They had an open gym on Tuesday and Thursday nights at Memorial Hall. And so I went down there. I used to play with my buddies. We'd play. It was like a midnight basketball program. So I'm down there. I'm playing in one of the bigger games. I lose, so I go to the other end of the court. And essentially there's a couple of guys standing there. And they're, I asked them, you guys want to play like a 3-on-3? And they're like, yeah. So long story short, LeBron ends up being the captain. At the time, he's like 15 and I'm about 25. So I didn't realize how young he was. He was so ripped that I thought that he was a full-grown man like I was. And long story short, LeBron picks me first. I'm on his team. I'm about a 6'1", very average player. And we completely destroyed this other team. He was giving me, just like you see on the NBA, the passes, everything was perfect. And then after we played that pickup game, it was over quick. I mean, we went to 11. It was like 11-0, and I'd never won a game like that in my life. I swear to God, this is true. So after the game, I stay around, and I'm talking to him, and I had no idea who he was, even though only a few months later he became huge in the Akron area because he made the cover of the Akron Beacon Journal on the St. Vincent's high school team. So long story short, he was telling me that day how he was hoping that he could play at Akron. And I didn't really understand it because he was so huge. I was thinking, well, maybe this is a guy that's a little bit older that wants to come back to college. And then one day I'm sitting at breakfast with my dad, and my dad hands me the newspaper, and I look on the front page, and I'm like, oh, my God, I played basketball with this guy. And the last thing I'll say is he was, like, such a gentleman. He was the nicest person that you could ever meet, and he was so ripped that it didn't even seem like he could be a human being.
That's pretty cool. All right. Thanks for sharing, Chris.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yep. Thanks,
Thanks
man.
for letting me tell it.
You
Alrighty,
got
bye.
it. Thank you. How about that? I mean, that's a good story. I hope you're told it a lot, Chris. That's a really good story. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll talk SEC baseball. Joe Healy from D1 Baseball next. As you listen to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. This Thursday, Florida baseball faced LSU in Baton Rouge to begin a 3-game series after a 9-6 series win against Kentucky. That win capped off the series, awarding the Gators the victory 2-1. Brendan Lawson, Hayden Yost, and Caden McDonald hit a homer in Sunday's game, with Coach Kevin O'Sullivan highlighting McDonald's overall performance.
Man, I can't say enough about his performance. I mean, guy goes 4 1/3 to the ground to hit, settles things down, hits a home run, a key home run. Him and Yosti hit key home runs there. I think everybody in the lineup got a hit today.
For full coverage of the final regular season series, look to WRUF at 7:25. Florida women's golf continue the regional tomorrow after a season where they finished number 3, earning the 1 seed in this week's Tallahassee tournament. The 2026 individual champion Paula Francisco begins the lineup, followed by Megan Propek, both of whom were awarded first team All-SEC.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
In the mood for a delicious Asian fusion cuisine for lunch? Then head to P.F. Chang's in Gainesville. They have lunch specials starting at just $11.99. Happy hour, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Wednesdays are girls' night with half-price wine and champagne bottles. And any day, anytime, sip house and lucky cocktails for $8.99. Celebrate every meal at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch, drinks, and fun.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Miapa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Miapa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-through, to-go, or catering, Miapa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Miapa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Don't forget, for the show, Facebook Live questions you may have, courtesy of Ruse Ogle State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville and North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. YouTube questions from Campus USA Credit Union, founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. All of our guests, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. And our first guest of the day joins us now on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. He is a guest of our show. We love having on Joe Healy, D1 Baseball, talking SEC. Joe, welcome. Good to have you back.
Good to be back, Steve. It's the best time of year in college baseball, so I'm always happy to talk about it.
It sure is. Boy, I mean, look, this year is not much different than any other year. The SEC has a lot of teams bunched. A lot of things could happen. Let me ask, did you see Georgia they won the SEC without even having to play the last weekend. And their schedule in terms of playing the SEC, bottom teams helped them. But did you see them being as good as they were in the league?
No, I thought, kind of like everybody else, I thought, this is a team that certainly could host a regional. It's a team that could be a top 8 national seed when it's all said and done. But I didn't see them winning the SEC for the first time since 2008. And I think a couple things have been different for them this season. One is that this is, and I think I may have said it on your air before, but this is just a really buttoned-up professional Georgia team. And the past couple of years, they've been very good during the regular season, but there was almost like a little bit of bravado there. Like they were almost trying to convince themselves and convince everyone else they were as good as they said they were. This year, there's none of that. It's just a team that knows it's good, and it just goes out about its business and wins a whole bunch of games. And so the other piece of it is that they've really done a nice job with pitching development this year. In the past, it's felt like they've got a bunch of guys who throw really hard and look impressive on the mound and are big-time prospects, but it didn't necessarily amount to a lot of pitching depth. But this year they have it. They got it in the rotation with, a couple guys in Volchko and Vigu that have had really nice years, and they've had it in the bullpen as well. And we know what they can do offensively. So you combine that newfound pitching depth with what they do offensively, and that's why you have an SEC champion.
A lot of Gator fans are hopeful, Joe, that, Florida's been playing a little better here, getting some guys back from injury. Where do you see this Gator team now?
Yeah, I think it certainly is a team that is trending the right direction at the right time. You want to be playing your best baseball right now, and Florida certainly qualifies. What's not different is that the pitching is still, when the pitching is really good, it's as good as anybody in the country. And even last week when Aiden King didn't throw at his best, maybe one of his worst starts of the year, as a matter of fact, the rest of the team picked him up, and I think that's a really, really good sign for the way Florida's playing right now. And then you factor in the way that the offense has started to turn it around. Brennan Lawson swinging the bat a lot better right now than he had been. Caden McDonald, it looks like they've discovered a superstar in Caden McDonald, kind of out of nowhere. So that's obviously a big time thing for Florida, a big time development for Florida. So the Omaha upside has always been here, and it looks like this team is finally tapping into some of that. Right now, they're certainly a host in the NCAA tournament with a little bit more work to do, I think, to be a top 8 seed. But with this series this weekend against LSU, an LSU team that's probably not going to be playing for a whole lot, the opportunity is definitely there for Florida to grab one of those top 8 seeds.
I was going to ask you about that, Joe, because I think it's fascinating to me when I look at what LSU, has happened from a year ago. But even if they sweep Florida, which is doubtful, they would have 12 league wins, and nobody's ever gotten in with 12 league wins. Do they just say, I'm going to get my pitching ready for the SEC tournament because that's the only chance we have? How do you think they approach this weekend series?
Well, if it were me, I would do what you're suggesting. I would stack up my pitching, and whoever I think my best guy is, whether it's Kason Evans or whether it's William Schmidt or somebody else, I would be ready to start that person on Tuesday of the SEC tournament, because that's your best bet to getting into the NCAA tournament, is to play well and probably win the SEC tournaments. That's what I would do. Now, what I think will happen is I think they're going to play it pretty straight up, because I think they're going – that's just not – to me, that's just not necessarily the way Jay Johnson is wired, to just – I don't want to say give up on, but to de-emphasize the games that are right in front of him for something down the road. They are very much a we're going to deal with what's right in front of us type of operation. So I think they're going to play it straight up, thinking, hey, if we sweep this, we have 12 SEC wins, and then all it takes is maybe 1 or 2 wins in Hoover for us to get there. Maybe we don't have to win the whole thing. I think that's kind of going to be the way they approach it. I don't know that I necessarily agree, but that's my prediction on how they're gonna deal with it.
Yeah, I don't agree either, for what that's worth. As far as the future of any coach in the SEC, let's start with South Carolina. What do you see there?
Really, really attractive job. You know, it certainly should not have been as poor as it has been the last couple of years. I will say there may be a little bit of mismatch in expectations around the fan base versus what's reality at South Carolina, because the reality is, you know, while their ballpark is still very nice, you know, there have been a lot of ballpark builds since then. So it's not necessarily the crown jewel of the SEC it once was. Their NIL has not. Now this could change, but their NIL has not necessarily been competitive at the very top of the conference, and you see that with the type of transfers South Carolina is bringing in versus the type of transfers that those teams at the top of the conference have been bringing in. Those two things are not the same. But to my earlier point, there's no reason it should have been as bad the last couple of years at South Carolina as it has been the last couple of years. One name that's very, very obvious is Kevin Schnall at Coastal Carolina, and I think this coaching search is pretty simple. I think they're going to make Kevin Schnall say no to them not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times before moving on to anyone else. And given the history of Coastal Carolina, and given you know what we've seen them do relatively recently, seeing the talent they bring in there, if South Carolina merely had Coastal Carolina's roster over the last 2 years, they would also be playing for national titles. It's a roster that's ready to compete in the SEC right now. And so Kevin Schnall can build that kind of roster here. So, again, I think that's probably option 1, 2, and 3 for South Carolina. And if he says no that third or fourth time, then we move on to other candidates.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball, joining us here talking Southeastern Conference baseball. Missouri is a little bit better, but that's a tough gig. I mean, their facility there. What's the realistic expectation for them?
Yeah, I think the realistic expectation as they're currently operating is that the stars align once every handful of years, and you are relatively competitive, and maybe you can fight your way onto the bubble. They did that not that long ago. The 2021 or 2022 team, I forget, was kind of in that mix. But that's really all you can expect given the lack of investment they have right now. Whatever metric you want to use to measure investment in college baseball, Missouri ranks 16th in NIL stuff, in coaching salaries, in facilities. I'm assuming in just general budgeting. You know, they're 16 out of 16 on that when it comes to baseball, and that's just so. The reality is they can't expect any more there, and that's why when people ask me about Carrick Jackson's job security, I don't really know what to say, because the thing about it is just firing him and replacing him with someone else, expecting different results with the same inputs, I think is absurd.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that Kevin O'Sullivan, as good as he is, just to use a local example for you, if he takes over at Missouri, I'm not necessarily sure the expectation should be a lot better. I think they would be better with a proven head coach, but I'm not saying they would necessarily be any better in terms of, we're an annual regional team, or we're contending to host, or all of that kind of stuff, because they just have not just one hand tied behind their back, they have both hands tied behind their back in the SEC. And so, again, I think this offseason, especially if Missouri decides to make a move, and they might, they need to decide what they want to be, because just the status quo is not going to necessarily change anything. They have to completely change how they view baseball from an institutional standpoint.
I'm totally with you. Tell people they can see your work.
D1Baseball.com. Click the SEC tab at the top of the page, or you can follow me on social at Joe Healy D1.
Always appreciate you, Joe. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Steve. See you.
You got it. Yep. He knows his stuff. Joe Healy talking SEC baseball from D1 Baseball. Next up, we're going to talk a little NBA as Sean Devaney from Heavy.com joins us. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
It's never fun being injured, and with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news, you don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away, and they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Thursdays just got a whole lot better. At Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, it's prime rib night, and it's everything you've been craving. We're talking slow-roasted, perfectly seasoned USDA prime rib, carved just the way you like it, served with a jumbo loaded baked potato and all the classic fixins. Simple, legendary, done right. This isn't just dinner, it's a weekly tradition. And hey, you asked, the head ball coach delivered. Join us every Thursday for premium prime rib night at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Come hungry, leave legendary.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Well, we move from college baseball to the NBA on our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. And again, our guest, courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Good friend of the show, Sean Devaney, covers the NBA for Heavy.com. He now joins us. Sean, I want to go a lot of places here today, But first of all, Lakers are out. 41-year-old LeBron James sits there, and he says, and I think truthfully, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's still a heck of a player. What do you think he does?
I am, like you said, I am just as uncertain about this as LeBron. I mean, at 41 years old, you could make a case that it's time for him to just hang it up and go out on top. He's had a great season, and he wants to stay in LA. He wants to be around his family. He doesn't necessarily want to pack up and go finish out somewhere else. The Lakers aren't so sure they really want him back, just with his salary and all the things that come with LeBron. I think they'd like to move on and build more around Luka Doncic. So that's sort of the situation that he's in, and it's easy to say that's a good time to walk away. At the same time, this is a guy who's still averaging 24, 25 points, 7-8 rebounds, and 7-8 assists. So it's hard to justify him just walking away. So then the question would be, okay, well, what comes next? Does he really want to go somewhere else? Like I say, he's very happy being in Southern California where his family is, and to pack up and go somewhere else might be a little difficult for him.
It looks like the Giannis trade carousel is open now. Do you think this will happen quickly? Do you think it'll take a while to develop?
Yeah, the owner of the team said he wants to get this resolved by the time the draft comes, and there's been a lot of back and forth between Giannis and certainly the old owner Mark Lasry. They really had a hard time envisioning trading Giannis. I think the new guy Jimmy Haslam was coming in, also owns the Browns, and he's now a half owner of the Bucks. I think he doesn't have necessarily the same attachments to Giannis that the previous owner did. So I think he kind of is bringing more of a common sense approach, like, well, let's get in a room and figure out what we want to do here, because we can't have another year where we go through everything we just went through last year. So I do expect this to be something that gets resolved quickly. Certainly, there's going to be no shortage of suitors. Giannis has had some injury problems. He gets paid a lot of money, so there's certainly some negatives there, but he's still one of the best, 10 players in the NBA. And if you put somebody like that in the trade market, there's no question there's going to be a long line of teams that are willing to give you a pretty good package for him.
Sean, I'm not just saying this because, I've known you for a long time, but I respect the work that you do. And I also, it's amazing to me what you have to know, when it came to draft-a-palooza here, and if this team gets this selection, then it dropped. Then this team gets a pick, and then this one. It's crazy what you have to know. How much does this help the Wizards, and who lost out in that situation?
Yeah, obviously the Wizards were the big winner. They get the number one pick. They were in a situation where really being in the top three is really where you want it to be when you've got Boozer, Dibanza, and you've got Darren Peterson. You really would like to have your choice of them, but really any of those three guys have the potential to be the number one pick. So certainly ideal for the Wizards to stay where they were. The losers are the Jazz, who fell down a couple spots, 3 spots, and the Kings fell down 3 spots, and so they'll be in now. It is a deep draft, and there is a lot of talent at the top, but they're missing out on those 3 big players that everybody wanted. Of course, the biggest loser was the Pacers because of as you mentioned, sort of a complicated trade that they made with Ivica Zubac. They basically made a bet. It was a 50-50 bet that they would be able to stay in the top 4. And they weren't. They slipped down. They got bumped the way the lottery worked out. They got bumped from number 2, I believe it was, to down to number 5. And in doing so, now they have to send that pick to the Clippers. So they went from possibly having the number 1 pick to having no pick at all, which I don't remember that ever happening before. That is something that I've never seen that drastic of a shift before.
Sean Devaney, Heavy.com, joining us here talking NBA and the NBA playoffs. Let me bring LeBron back up here and Steph Curry. Draymond Green, Steve Kerr. Look, those guys have earned whatever stripe they have. They've won multiple championships. But am I wrong in saying this, that if LeBron stays with the Lakers, Kerr is back, and look, Steph's not going to play forever either, isn't there a lot of pressure on those franchises to try to build a champion with those guys maybe with a year or two left? And how realistic is that to do?
Well, and that's the difficult thing. And certainly if you're LeBron, then that's what you're looking at is, if you do come back, would you rather go to Cleveland and return and do a couple of years in Cleveland to close out your career? Because if you look at the Western Conference, it's the Thunder and it's the Spurs, and it's really hard to see anything happening to upset that apple cart right now. Those two teams are pretty well entrenched. They're young. Consider this: the Thunder have 2 of the top 17 picks in this year's draft. So as good as they are, they still have 2 really good picks in this draft, and they're just going to keep getting better and better, and it's really hard to see them going anywhere. So if you're the Warriors, what do? I think you just do your best. You put your best foot forward and try to be as good as you can, knowing that it's probably not going to be a championship, but at least you can have Steph sort of go out with some dignity and being competitive. And if you're LeBron, I would really look at, if this is my chance to go back to Cleveland and be on a competitive team in a different conference, even if I can't win a championship, at least I could possibly go to the finals. If I'm LeBron, I look at the Thunder and the Spurs and I say I'm heading east if I'm coming back at all. It's just hard to see, even for the Lakers, even for the Warriors, any way that they can realistically compete in that conference.
Let me end with my team because the Knicks are scaring me, Sean. They just blew Philly out, and they're hitting shots. They're doing – and they won without Anunoby. How good are they? Is this real? Is this just a spurt they're on, or are the Knicks for real?
I've got to tell you, Steve, that I love how you put that, and that's exactly what I hear from Knicks fans all the time, is that you're so used to things not going well that when they go well, you start to go, there's something coming here. You think of like when they won the NBA Cup, and then within 2 weeks they had, a 9-game losing streak. So it's you just expect things to not quite go right here, and it seems like everything's going right. And you look at the Cavaliers and the Pistons playing in the other series in the East, and they both look very, very beatable. They have throughout the playoffs. And the Knicks should be able to roll over either one of those. It's hard to see anything coming up, knock on wood, that would knock this team out of the NBA Finals at this point. So it's really hard. Ever since they really started to focus on Karl Anthony Towns, get the ball to him, let him work in the high post as a high post passer. The game has just become so much easier for that team on the offensive end. And you're right; they'll get in, be back, and they'll be really ready. They'll be well rested. They'll be really ready to go for the Eastern Conference Finals. It is hard to see them ending the season anywhere else besides the NBA Finals.
Wow! I hope you are right, my friend. Where can people see your work?
Heavy.com, where we've got a lot of lottery stuff, a lot of draft stuff coming up, and of course plenty of Lakers content, and then of course everything that's happening in the playoffs.
All right, appreciate you, Sean. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
You got it, Sean Devaney, covering the NBA. I'm not going to go into what Lane Kiffin said, but a couple of emails about it. Read it for yourself. He was bringing up the fact that, it was maybe hard to recruit African-American athletes because of the past at Mississippi. Mike says, a school that has a mascot, Rebels, is racist. The Rebels were treasonous states that wanted to keep African-Americans beaten and in chains. Let's see here. YouTube question, and that's courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Greg, a conference championship game is a playoff game. No, it's not. It's not. Do you think the loser of the conference championship game is not going to be in the playoff? I think 9.5 times out of 10, the loser of that game is still going to be in the playoff, especially if it's 20-something teams. The powers that be in the corporate TV world want to end conference championship games so teams like last season's Tulane can get fed to the big boys. Boring. Okay? Scott, going to 24 teams, just a network cash grab. We were oversaturated with bowl games between 5 and 6 teams that nobody watched. Now those bowl games are gone. Jim, combine measurements came out. I'd love to see the disparities. Amari Allen from Bama is listed at 6'8", but measured 6'5". Just a bit off, he says. Yeah. Facebook Live questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm. Josh, you mentioned the difference in what the SEC and the Big Ten want for the playoff in football. Those are the most powerful conferences in the sport. You think one has a bigger voice than the other? Not anymore. Big Ten's got a lot of money. I think they're an equal voice now. Mark, do you think LeBron is done? Where does he rank on your all-time list? As it gets closer to the summer, that's going to be one of the things we'll throw out, right? Who would be your, top 5 players in the NBA now, or your top 5 players of all time? He's up there, Mark. He's in the top 5 for me. I mean, I will also say this. If you asked me today who the top 5 were, and you asked me tomorrow who the top 5 were, I'd probably have a different group. Because, Michael Jordan is going to be in every one of them. Magic Johnson, probably going to be in every one of them. Okay? Outside of that, LeBron, Kareem, Oscar Robertson. I could go on and on. Wilt Chamberlain, go on and on. And then on the text line, courtesy of B&D Electric, from David. No, we still have LSU in the SEC tournament ahead of us. Going into the regional, what does Sully need to do to keep the boys' mind right, not have a bad game like they did against East Carolina last year? Well, unfortunately, David, MLB teams have bad games. It's when you have them. If you have a bad game in the regular season, no big deal. You have a bad game in the postseason, it's magnified. So, you just got to keep them focused, and I would think they would indeed be focused. We'll take a break, come back, more to come. You're listening to Sports Scene right here on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida baseball enter Alex Box Stadium for a 3-game series against LSU this Thursday. Momentum is on the Gators' side after a Kentucky series win, including a 4 1/3 pitching day from Caden McDonald. In addition to his pitching, McDonald hit a homer in the 4th inning. Here's McDonald on Sunday's pitching performance.
Fastball up was really good, getting swing and misses on that, and then just getting ahead of guys with curveball was good today. Didn't really throw any sliders, pretty much just fastball, curveball today. So just got ahead with the curveball and then fastball was the finishing.
For full coverage of Thursday's game, look to WRUF at 7:25. This Friday, Florida softball defend Katy Seashore Presley Stadium against Florida A&M in the first round of the regional tournament. Against mid-majors, Florida is undefeated on the year, offering a proven challenge for FAMU in round 1. For full coverage of Friday's game, look to WRUF at 10:30.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. electrolytes to help hydrate, the nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. We've just received a special factory allocation of GMC trucks and SUVs. New GMC Sierra, $329 per month. New GMC Canyon, $299 per month. We sell more, so you save more. At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet of the all-new Davis Gainesville GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing plus tax title and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
On and off showers will continue for us through the afternoon. A few stronger thunderstorms will be possible east of Highway 301, closer to the St. Johns River during the mid-afternoon and early evening hours. Otherwise for us, cloudy skies today, high temperatures in the upper 70s. A few early evening showers, then cloudy overnight. Lows in the morning in the upper 60s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
Hey, it's Jeff Cardozo. Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Your home for Gator sports.
Many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour. Their name says it all. Dustin says, listen to something after the game. They pointed at the possible swan song for LeBron as being a Knick. Your thoughts? It'd be kind of cool, but then what do you do to your team? Right? In other words, obviously LeBron's going to play, so who doesn't play that's playing for the Knicks now? Where's the money go? He's not cheap, so a lot would have to happen for that. But in theory, it'd be pretty cool. Byron, welcome.
Hey, Steve, I really enjoyed your NBA guest, and definitely the LeBron Curry talk. Steve, not like I said, I'm an off fan from the West, especially since he left Miami, but it's just like you say, the guy's intriguing, man. 41, it's just a good story if you like basketball to see what they might do and what, Draymond and those guys with, the coach. I'm trying to think of his name, but the coach at Golden State.
Steve Kerr.
Kerr, yeah. And Steve, this is a good call with that guy. And real quick, the baseball guy, Steve, I want to say this. Yeah, everybody likes to say football, every game matters. It's the last 3 games for LSU and the Gators. And, I don't know how the coach going to play it, but these games matter. This is the playoff for me already because, as the gentleman said, this could make us in seeding. So every game, not in basketball at all. But I'm rambling, Steve. But good call with him. And the Coastal Carolina coach, whoever that guy is, he's a steal. How do he win like he do at that small school? I don't know. But, Steve, my question, and I was wondering what you bring this up, but you brought it yesterday, but Wemby, I thought just by that elbow, he would have set out just that half. But some people think he should have set out the game. Your opinion on that? And I heard Reggie Miller earlier saying that the referees might call it tighter. Steve, I think Chinaloo got fouled a little rougher, but I think they do that in the playoffs and the tournament. But do you agree with that, and do you think it's going to be tighter? And was Wemby being harassed and fouled? And that's the way Minnesota play, but go ahead.
You asked about 20 things there.
I'm sorry.
I agree. I don't think it should have been carried over to the next game. So I'm in agreement with that. What else did you ask?
Yeah. I was just saying, I think Chinaloo got the bad. They were killing him.
No.
But maybe I'm whining. But do you think Wemby is getting fouled a little too much and they might call it tighter? And I'll leave you with this, Steve. I heard this a stat of the day for me. Shotani is like 6 or something, 30, and hitting 133. And is the Dodgers doing good? I hadn't checked their stats, but check that out and see. Is Shotani in some kind of slump right now? But, hey, I hope he stay there. And for your Mets and my Rays and Phillies. Thanks, Steve. Go Gators.
Thank you. Dodgers are doing okay. They're not doing as well as I think some people thought they would do. But they're doing okay. I mean, I'd rather have, as a Mets fan, I'd rather have the Dodgers record than the Mets record. Next hour, how much money do you think it costs, on average, NIL-wise, to land impact recruits? I'm going to give you an idea, okay? And I want you to add it up when I do it. Also, Florida is playing Florida A&M in the regional. Hope to have Florida A&M softball coach on with us live. So we will look forward to that. Tomorrow, Graham Hall will host, and appreciate him doing that. Thursday, if the technology gods allow us, we'll be live in Baton Rouge, getting ready for Gator baseball. Chris Blair, the play-by-play voice of the Tigers, will join us to talk about their struggles this year. And then Dick Girardi is back to talk about the second leg of the Triple Crown. And I'm going to ask him this too, and I'll throw this out for anybody. The Kentucky Derby is, in my opinion, by far the more marquee event of the three, right? I don't think there's any question about that. Why can't horses run 3 races? They used to. Why can't they? So now, if I'm going to the Preakness, there's no Triple Crown possibility. He's not running. He's going to walk. He'll be in a stall eating hay. So why? I'm going to ask Dick that. Now, maybe, they're the way they're trained or whatever, but that takes away from the sport, in my opinion. And look, there'll be a Preakness winner. Great. That horse is going to get recognized. But if you don't have a chance to have a Triple Crown winner, then it takes away from that race and also the Belmont Stakes. But I'll ask him that on Thursday. We'll take a break, come back. Hour 2 of Sports Scene coming up. You're listening on WRUF.
Every pitch of Gator baseball, all season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier.
Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworld.net for more. That's electronicsworld.net.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation. When you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake. Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together. Helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Hour 2 of Sports Scene commences right now with Michael as our producer. We thank you for making time out of your busy day to join us and talk sports, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light studio. Make sure you get with them. I promise you they'll light up your home, your business, your backyard, your pool area. They do great work, all fully programmable right from your phone, full color systems. Gator Trim Light. Visit them at GatorTrimLight.com. Fueled also by, you know who, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Go see them in person. You know what to do. Make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. Quality Plumbing sponsoring the first hour of the show. Domino's Pizza, our Hour 2 sponsor. Nobody delivers like Domino's, whether you're picking up or ordering delivery. Fast, easy, just a click away. Order now at GatorDomino's.com. We will open the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line, 392-8255. The International Diamond Center email is srussell@wruf.com. You got a text for us, 352-325-3777, courtesy of B&D Electric. Porter, hello.
Hey, see, man, it's almost time for the quarter-hour break after doing all the sponsors, but that's a good thing, isn't it? I wanted to throw my opinion in on you, answer your question about the horse racing. The Kentucky Derby is 1.25 miles, which is already on the longer end of the races by today's standards. The Preakness, I think, is 1.316 miles. The Belmont is the grueling one. It's 1.5 miles, which is longer than almost anything, and that's if you look how the I forget the horse's name, but the one who won the Derby, how he came on so late. I think maybe he just is more suited for the longer races and doesn't want to hurt his chances to win the Belmont by running the Preakness in between. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Well, I can tell you what the owner said. Okay. Which is not opinion. They and the trainer said that the best decision for him moving forward to give him a little more time because of to your point, the effort coming from last place, right, all the way to win it, because of the effort the horse put in to win it. They just said for his health, his happiness, and his long-term future, they're keeping him out, which I can understand.
Fair enough, and that sort of fits, I think, with my answer to what I think my opinion on your second question about why they don't run the 3. I think back in the day, you got all the money or the big chunk of the money from winning the race. You got the stud fees and that kind of things down the road. Now, just being in the race, looking good, putting on a good show, I think that brings in the more of the stud fees and that kind of thing. Anyway, I think it has to do with the follow the dollars. I think it has to do with the stud fees available and not wanting to hurt that. So I'd appreciate it if you could ask your guest if what his take is on that.
All right. Thank you, Porter. Appreciate the call. Yep, Dick should already be here Thursday. I looked this up, though, and again, I'm going to talk to Dick about this. American Pharoah in 2015, Justify in 2018, the only horses to sweep the races over the past 4 decades. 4 decades. And I for somebody who's my age, the Great Secretariat in, I think it was 1973, just blew away the field. And I guess because I saw that and I was young, that why can't all the horses do that? Secretariat did it. Why can't Seabiscuit do it? Obviously, there's something to this. And remember, I got to ask Dick this too. I get it when it comes to the Kentucky Derby about when you run that. Correct me if I'm wrong, peeps, but isn't it 2 weeks between the Derby and the Preakness? I think it is. Okay. Well, why can't they make it 3? Why can't you make it 3 weeks, if I'm right? And then you would think that, most of the horses that run in the Derby could run the second leg. And they are apparently thinking of that. Count me in as being all for that. Because again, I think part of the excitement, and look, why wouldn't the Preakness want that? Why wouldn't they want to have eyes on a horse that is maybe looking to win a Triple Crown instead of, not going to win one. So anyway, I didn't think today when I walked to the door we'd talking horse racing, but by God, we are, and it's not a bad thing. And Dick will join us on Thursday. Looking forward to that. Always do. Okay, let me get some emails here. This is Daryl, International Diamond Center email. Enjoy hearing you and Graham talk sports together. Could be a possibility you and he'll do some shows together in the slow summertime. Maybe, because he's been a guest before. Love having him here. Dustin, it's a short amount of time. It's 3 races in a 6-week time frame. Normally a good horse runs once every 3 weeks or a month longer. Well, again, if that's the case, then why didn't the powers that be back in the day make it where it would be a longer time until you ran? William, I asked this question this morning to AI after hearing Chuck Oliver discuss LSU spending $45 million on players for 2026 and the possibility of Kentucky ending women's softball and Arkansas's $15 million shortfall and acts against tennis programs to fuel the football programs. The football arms race insanity needs to stop now. There has to be limits set. The article he sent me, and I want you to understand this number, more than 415 college athletic programs have been cut, merged, or consolidated, not just in the NCAA, though, NAIA too, since May of 2024. So, look, only about 25 of the 1,100 NCAA member schools generate a profit. And the cost of competing, facility upgrades, whatever, coaches' salaries, players' money, is incredible. These are examples of what, now remember, Arkansas dropped its tennis programs. Louisiana Monroe eliminated women's tennis. St. Bonaventure cut women's golf. Cal Poly cut men's and women's swimming. And there's more of them. And I guess what he's trying to say is that, the arms race has got to stop because this is going to continue. Yeah, it's going to continue. It is. And I don't think anybody cares, except maybe for the people in those programs. What would you think? Let me throw this out here. What if Scott Strickland came right in that seat over there and said to me, you know what, because of the rising costs, Florida's not going to have a tennis team anymore. Men and women. See ya. What would you think? Would you care? Would you care? I would. All right, let's get to our Titan MRI imaging phone line. Joe is there. Hi, Joe.
Afternoon, Steve.
Hello.
You're talking about the non-Triple Crown, and it is about money. It's stressful if that horse runs too many times, too often, has a chance of getting a broken leg, something like that. All those stud fees disappear.
Yep, I agree.
And, they push the limits of having a lot of these horses being on the younger side compared to the older side because of cost. And then the less mature horses, more risk of injury. I skip the middle one, which is the one they always skip, and collect the stud fees.
Yeah, I just don't see why they don't. Wouldn't it be, and again, I know next to nothing about the business aspect of horse racing, but just as a fan, common sense would tell you, okay, if you want to have, given your points, which I think are valid, right, then push the Preakness back a week, push the Belmont back a week, problem solved.
But then you get into the thing of tradition and that stuff. But, it would help the problem, but it probably wouldn't eliminate it. especially I think this horse does better in the long races compared to the shorter ones.
Well, that's a different story, right? I mean, we can talk about how a horse runs on a short track versus a long track. That's fine. But at least the horse is running.
What I always found interesting about horse racing is, they cannot use artificial insemination, so those stud fees that's why the stud fees are so high.
I'll take your word for that.
And go Rays.
Playing great. Playing great.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you. We'll take a break. We'll come back. James, I'll get to you on the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Hayes. Today, the Tampa Bay Rays are continuing a 3-game series in Toronto against the Toronto Blue Jays. Yesterday's game against the Blue Jays saw them win 8-5, including a Jonathan Aranda home run in the 5th inning. Here's the call on Aranda's home run.
Swung on and hit high in the air to fairly deep center. Driving back Varsho to the track, to the wall, gone! Jonathan Aranda goes dead central. His 8th home run of the year, and the Rays extend the lead for the 2nd straight inning. It's now 7-3 in the 5th.
For full coverage of today's game, look to WRUF at 6:30. This Thursday, Florida baseball go to Baton Rouge for a 3-game series against LSU. Florida is coming off a series win against Kentucky, giving the Gators momentum going into Thursday's game. For full coverage, look to WRUF at 7:25 on Thursday.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardozo live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
One of Florida's opponents in the upcoming NCAA softball regional, Florida A&M, their softball coach is going to join us live here at the bottom of the hour. On the text line, B&D Electric, Andrew, don't you think LeBron making fun of Memphis, Milwaukee is just dumb? What does an NBA player know about traveling? What? What does an NBA player know about traveling? You don't think they travel, Andrew? It's not actual traveling, being a celebrity where you can't actually see a city. Sure, it's travel. You still travel to the place. U2 question, Greg, Secretariat had a heart size that was abnormally big. That's scientific proof. You're asking for horses to do what most horses can never do, the things Secretariat famously did. Oh, okay. She's here? Okay. All right. No. Okay. All right, we got an early call here, so I got to hold on because I am going to get Florida A&M's coach here, Brittany Beal, to join us here to talk about her team. Coach, thanks for coming on live with us. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome.
Okay, Gator fan walks into KDC Show Presley Stadium, sees your team. Congratulations on getting here. What's the season been like for you?
The season was good. We had a really good off-season. Not off-season. Well, yeah, we had a good off-season, but we had a very good non-conference competitive February that I thought, really tested us for our conference season. And so, we were super excited that this is the first time in history for FAMU since they switched over from the MEAC to the SWAC to win a conference tournament. And so we're super excited about, advancing the postseason.
What's been the strength of your team this year?
I would say definitely our offense. I think we've tripled our home runs since last season. So it's been a great thing to watch and see how competitive we are with the sticks and obviously our pitching. But I think for the most part, our hitting has definitely kept us in a lot of ball games.
Tell me how you got into coaching.
How did I get into coaching?
Yeah.
So right out of college, I came back home. I'm from Central Florida area.
Okay.
And I got into teaching, and then, kind of softball just kind of landed, and I've been coaching since 2008-9 season. So I played collegiate ball at Auburn University. So coming back home, to my area, being able to give back to, young girls, the things that I had grown up to love and to like, and it just kind of went off from there.
You've got a player hitting over 400. That's really hard to do. Tell me about Amari Brown.
Amari Brown, she's a true athlete. She can pitch, she can hit, and she also is our starting shortstop when she's not pitching. So having her be a leader and be an impact player for us is huge. I mean, she's hitting 10 home runs on the season, 11 doubles, and just to see how athletic and versatile she is really has helped our team be as strong as that we are. And so she actually just won the conference Player of the Year as well.
Wow. In the circle, your ERA is about 3.75 or something like that. And you got a few arms there. Tell me about your pitching staff.
Pitching staff is strong. We got 3 returners from last year. We ended up bringing in a freshman and a transfer, but two of our girls, made conference on the conference team, and we have Zoriana Hughes. She has pitched 132 innings on the season. Samantha Smith, 106 innings on the season, and then we also have Amari. But again, she's been playing more short than she has pitching. So we have a very experienced pitching staff when it comes between those 3, and I'm super excited about how the way they perform, not only throughout the conference season, but obviously how they responded throughout the conference tournament to lead us into the position that we're in now.
Obviously, Brittany, when you win, that's a good thing. Has this been a fun group to coach?
They're hilarious. If you see them, they're hilarious, and they're really close, like a close-knit sisterhood. But they love to dance, they love to sing, they love to, just crack up on the bus, and they're definitely the young folks say, a life of the party.
Look, obviously you're going up against some good teams here, but do you say to your team, hey, relish the underdog role? How do you approach going to this regional?
Let's shock the world. And I think those are the only, few things that we need to say. If we can, play our ball, play the game that is, supposed to play, I think that we are going to shock the world for sure. So I'm excited of, what we bring to the table. We had a great practice today, and the girls got loose and got some swings in. So, their mind are in the right space and their heart are in the right space. And, we're excited to be at this point right now.
Last question for you. Sometimes when you enter a year, you have a pretty good idea of, okay, this person's going to be in the circle, or this person's going to really be, a great hitter for us. But every once in a while, somebody surprises that, came out of nowhere a little bit. Have you had a player like that this year that's maybe overachieved a little bit, or maybe played a little better than maybe what you thought?
I would say Nariah Lee. Okay. She's a senior though, but she's had a remarkable last season. Looking for her from last year to this year, she is batting .384, and that's a solid .384 of being, and she's our leadoff hitter, and she's in center field. So she has, and she also made the all-tournament team this weekend. So she has stepped her game up tremendously, and it's just, if you ever met her or meet her in person, she always has a great big smile on her face. So just to see her be able to excel her last season has been one of the most remarkable things as a coach to see.
Congratulations on a great year. It continues here in Gainesville this weekend. Florida A&M coming to town in the Gainesville Regional. Brittany, thank you for your time. I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
You got it, Coach. Thank you. Done a good job. They were 32-20 this year, and they were 19-5 in the league. So they earned it here, and we'll see how they do. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then the last half hour, it's Us Today. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
Gator baseball is in full swing, and the road to Omaha runs through WRUF.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
International Diamond Center's values are so compelling, it's not unusual to see people here that are not local.
Every day, we have people that drive an hour and a half, even 2 hours.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
People are willing to drive because they've heard it's not a typical jewelry store.
For example, did you know IDC has one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America?
You're going to want to come to IDC. It's worth the drive.
International Diamond Center in Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at fllegends.com. That's fllegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Craving bold, authentic Cuban flavor? Head to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings the taste of Cuba straight to your table. From iconic Cuban sandwiches and fresh flaky empanadas to rich café con leche and perfectly sweet plantains. Every dish is made fresh daily for a true Latin experience. Proudly serving the community for over 23 years. And a proud supporter of the Florida Gators, Mi Apa now features 6 convenient locations ready to welcome you. Dine-in, drive-thru, to-go, or catering, Mi Apa is your choice for crowd-pleasing Cuban favorites. Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami.
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos tequila, like this recent conversation between two Gator legends.
Coach, you know what always impressed me? How you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Linderos tequila. Aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, Meta the first basket, free throw, Peace.
Huh, so you really can same game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. Your home for Gator sports.
Text line question, B&D Electric. Charles, we consider having Coach Tice as a guest to talk about the volleyball tournament in Dallas. Yes, as it gets closer, because that's not for a while. Facebook Live question, and again, they are coming to you from Ruse Oak State Farm. Allen, with the Cavs winning Game 4 last night, who do you see winning the East? I still think Detroit. Tom, what will it take for Florida to make a run in baseball? Keep the pitching's got to do what it's been doing. A little better hitting, a little better defense. But it's got to be led by the pitching. YouTube question, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Jim, I can see LeBron coming back. He's still playing well. They could probably go deep in the playoffs if Luka stays healthy. I don't know about that. If you got San Antonio and Oklahoma City there, tough. Will, do you think NIL has affected baseball like it has with football and basketball? Yes, I do. Softball too. But maybe not to the same extent. Because look, let's face it. There are still competitive teams in college football that aren't at the number 2, 3, 4, 5 level when it comes to NIL, but it has had an effect. There's no question. James, welcome.
Hey, Steve. Yeah, I want to continue the conversation about, football programs taking away revenue or being a cost that you can't have a non-revenue sports. I think your emailer said, LSU has $45 million towards football, and that's going to be costing them where you're going to see non-revenue sports being cut. I mean, the argument would be the non-revenue sports really exist because of football, or in some schools, the basketball program. Is that not correct?
I don't know about that they exist because of it, but I get your point. Yes, that the revenue, the athletic revenue that the school X makes helps support those sports that don't generate revenue. Yes, I see your point.
Okay, and I think cutting those non-revenue sports, that's the easy answer. I think there's ways around it. Let me ask you, what do you think the number one line item cost is for a non-revenue sport?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Travel's got to be up there, right? Traveling a women's basketball team to Oxford, Mississippi on a Tuesday. I mean, that's got to be up there. I know coaches' salaries are there, trainers, some of that stuff's absorbed, across the sports. Not the coaches' salaries, but the training and that type of thing. So I would say line item, travel's got to be one of the top costs. And if it's not, I'd be surprised. So let's get creative about this. Let's make travel more efficient by having more of tournament-style games throughout the season for non-revenue sports. So you host 4 or 6 teams for 2 or 3 days at one location.
Okay, I mean that's
and it gets around this single travel for one game, where they're gone probably 2 nights sometimes.
Well, the other thing you could maybe do, and I don't know if for example, this year we went on a trip with some softball staffers. We were both at the same place at the same time, right? So
Absolutely.
could you take a plane and have everybody go? I mean, yeah, you could. Could you have the tennis team also schedule when the baseball team is at a place? Yes, there's ways I think you could, but I don't know if that's enough. I guess because look, I have no idea, and maybe I can ask somebody from the Athletic Association here to answer the question, or Scott Strickland, because I have no idea what the cost is of running a tennis program or golf or whatever that is.
Right.
So yeah,
sure. But I just think the easy answer is to cut it. I think there's some creative ways around it. And for an example, UF has a club hockey team that doesn't get funded by the University Athletic Association at all. And they compete. They've been competing for years. They're a good team. They have to travel to Jacksonville just to practice. So, there's ways to do it.
Well, we may be finding out, maybe not here, but again, Arkansas's already cut tennis. The school that I have a hard time seeing is Missouri because, they're good in some sports. I mean, they're decent in football, men's basketball, they're good. Baseball and softball, they're not. I have no idea about their tennis teams, but you get my point that, like, when you go see their facility in baseball compared to everybody else, if you heard my guest, it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close.
Right. Well,
so, yeah.
And if travel is indeed one of the biggest expenses, Missouri is kind of at a deficit there because they have to travel pretty far to get anywhere.
Well, and the other thing that I don't know where it goes, look at the revenue that SEC schools get from TV contracts and all that. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars. But remember, if you have tennis, you got to build a facility. You got to build a locker room, right? Florida's going to generate a new golf course here, I think, in the near future. So there's always facility money, too, you have to raise. It baffles me. It always has, James, that, the sheer dollars that one school has to spend multiplied out by, whatever. It's incredible.
and I agree with you. But I'm just maybe there's something I'm missing, but I can't see expenses for those non-revenue teams being that high other than travel.
Well, again, I'm not. Arkansas cut tennis for a reason, obviously. They felt that's where they had to make a cut. I don't know how much money they're saving because of that, but we'll see if other schools follow it.
Well, and one more thing, and I'll let you go. Tennis, you really very rarely find it on the SEC network. You're seeing some golf on the SEC network now, but I'd be hard pressed to see the SEC schools cutting sports that provide content to SEC and SEC Plus. I really do find that hard to see.
Okay,
because they need that content for successful broadcasts. Thanks, Steve.
All right, James. Thank you. Well, again, how many soccer matches do you see? How many tennis matches do you see? How many swim meets do you see? I mean, look, at some point, there are going to have to be, answers made. And look, I don't know. I would imagine in most places, men's basketball and football are the revenue generators. I think even baseball and softball probably don't make profits. And I could be wrong. At certain places, I'm sure there are places that do. But I would imagine that the vast majority don't. And I'll try to mention this, and maybe I'll save it for Thursday, because I got some more stuff to get by here. But I'm going to kind of give you I'll do it real quick. When you're talking about the cost of a football player, like what it costs. On3 did this, okay? Let me ask you, Michael, what do you think the quarterback market is? $750,000 to $1.5 million. Okay, yeah. That's the average price of landing a top 10 quarterback, about $1 million. Okay? But it's going up. They say the defensive back market, $500,000 to $1.2 million. So think of that. How many football players are there? So I'm just telling you, this is the reality, and this is what administrators have got to do. And that's why when it comes to NIL and it comes to boosters, think about it. Why does a booster give money to a university? Maybe it's all boosters are not alma mater. Some just become a fan of a school. But look, if you're a graduate, you want to see your school do well, so okay, I'm going to give you money. And that's not a bottomless pit, but I'm beginning to think it is. Because where does it end? I mean, most people who have money are used to getting a return on their investment. Where's the return on the investment for that? Winning. That's the return on investment. I mean, it's nice. If I had enough money and I saw the Steve Russell Athletic Complex, great. My name's on it. Wonderful. That and, $1 doesn't buy a McDonald's anymore. So, I mean, it's an ego thing. It is. But again, where is your return on investment if you're giving millions of dollars? But it shows no signs, 0 signs of quitting. Let's see here. Did I do that one already? Okay. Did I do the Secretariat one about his the scientific proof? Okay. Greg on YouTube. Secretariat had a heart size that was abnormally big. That's scientific. proof. You're asking for horses to do what most horses can never do, the thing Secretariat did. Okay. YouTube question from Zach. Gators softball has to land a true ace pitcher if we ever want to win a championship again. Pretty good pitching is not going to cut it. Zach, I'm going to just say this. Keegan Rothrock's an ace. And if you don't think she's an ace, then I don't know who you think is. She's an ace. Now, can we argue? Can we debate they don't have a great number 2? You could debate that, right? And I get it because the temperature has risen because Florida's given up 10, 9, 9, 9, and 9 their last 4 or 5 games. I get it. And that includes Rothrock. Tom Seaver had bad games. Sandy Koufax had bad games. Now, if that continues, Florida's in trouble. But remember, those were against SEC teams that hit pretty well. And Florida, historically, always seems to go to a different gear when they hit this time of the year. That's why they've been to Oklahoma City so many times. So, Zach, I wouldn't go off the deep end quite yet, but I get your point. We'll take a break, come back. One last segment coming up. But before we go, though, and get to the break, I want to tell you about Gala Bank, Gainesville's only local bank, locally owned and operated, over 350 years of combining experience, here to help neighbors. You're customers, but you're also treated like family. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets. Anybody can cash a check at Gala Bank. You can find them at 7515 West University Avenue off of Tower Road, member FDIC. Back to wrap up Sports Scene for this Tuesday on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. The Rays continue their 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. So far, the Rays lead the series after winning 8-5 last night, extending their record to 27-13. Chandler Simpson earned 3 runs, including one off a catcher's error that helped pilot the Rays' win over the Birds.
Huge lead for Simpson. He takes off, and the pitch is a ball to throw to third. Goes into left field. Simpson was walking into third. He'll round the bag and score, and the Rays have a run. They literally steal a run. They're now up 6-3 in the 4th inning.
You'll find coverage for today's game on WRUF at 6:30. Florida softball stay home this Friday to compete against Florida A&M in the first round of the regional tournament. The Gators ended the regular season on a loss to Alabama 9-1. Coverage on WRUF begins at 10:30 on Friday.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Attention local and regional CDLA drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at pritchettrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. We've just received a special factory allocation of GMC trucks and SUVs. New GMC Sierra, $329 per month. New GMC Canyon, $299 per month. We sell more, so you save more. At Davis Gainesville Chevrolet and the all-new Davis Gainesville GMC on North Main Street in the heart of Gator Country and at GainesvilleChevyGMC.com.
36-month leases, $84.99 due at signing plus tax tag title and dock. All rebates and incentives to dealer may include loyalty. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworld.net for more. That's electronicsworld.net.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Gallup Bank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Gallup Bank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Gallup Bank. Member FDIC.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
On and off showers will continue for us through the afternoon. A few stronger thunderstorms will be possible east of Highway 301, closer to the St. Johns River during the mid-afternoon and early evening hours. Otherwise for us, cloudy skies today, high temperatures in the upper 70s. A few early evening showers, then cloudy overnight. Lows in the morning in the upper 60s. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Albuquerque. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Don't forget tonight, Rays and the Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 6:30. Gator baseball, final series of the regular year. That's just so odd. It goes fast, man. Thursday and Friday, coverage begins at 7:25. Saturday, 2:55 in the afternoon. Of course, Gators softball in the NCAA Regional. Friday, our coverage begins at 10:30 in the morning. And the first pitch at 11. So sports team will come to you a little later that day. I want to tell you about Sensei Asian Bistro, now open in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, in fact. Bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. The premier date night destination for food lovers is here, where elevated dining meets unforgettable nights. Make your reservations today. Sensei Asian Bistro. We got about 3 or 4 minutes. Still time to hear from you. Don't forget, tomorrow, Graham Hall, 24/7 Sports, will host while I'm on the airplane going to Baton Rouge. Then we'll do Sports Scene. From there, Thursday and Friday. And again, I mentioned about Friday. Don't know what time that'll be. It'll be after the Gator softball regional broadcast. Thursday on Sports Scene, if everything goes right, Dick Girardi will preview the Preakness, and I'll talk to him about the Triple Crown and all that. And then Chris Blair, the play-by-play voice of LSU, is going to join us to talk about their tough year in baseball. And we're also going to have a softball guest coming on Thursday as well. As a matter of fact, one of our Gator grads will be with us to talk about that. So that's all coming up Thursday as we come to you with Sports Scene from Baton Rouge. All right, a couple of emails here, and we will say goodbye for the day. Carl says, when do the Mets make a change? Do they end up firing Mendoza? they're going to have to. I mean, look, I get what they're trying to do. They've had, look, to be fair, they've had injuries. Soto was out. Lindor's been out, right? But they can't hit a lick. And, I mean, it's just, it's not good. And they're not the only team. I mean, the Phillies have struggled. You know, some other teams have struggled, but not with the payroll the Mets have. So if this continues, I mean, maybe give them to the All-Star break, and then after that, doesn't get better, I'm not sure he survives. And think about it. Is it his fault? Who put the roster together, right? General managers get fired, but not like managers do. I mean, managers are given their talent by the front office. If that talent doesn't work out, I mean, you don't see GMs get fired. They are, but not very often. Jill emails, Steve, I listen all the time. Don't ever email. Do you think Florida wins this regional? I'm assuming you're talking softball. Yeah, I do. I like I said, Tim Walton has a track record. He does really well, and they turn it up a notch. And I think they will do that at this regional. And anxious to see what will transpire here. And it's a new start, and hopefully the Gators can get their pitching straightened out and move along from there. Thanks to Michael for producing today. Thanks to all of our guests today. Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. Brittany Beal, the head softball coach at Florida A&M. And Sean Devaney covering the NBA for Heavy.com. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang coming your way next, so you know what to do. Keep it right here. Thanks to Michael for producing. We will see you Thursday. Graham here tomorrow. We'll talk to you Thursday, if the technology gods allow, from Baton Rouge. I'm Steve Russell. You're listening to WRUF. See you later.
Down, gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime, and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their meatball sub with fries or onion rings, topped with the house sauce and lots of melted mozzarella.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce